Something that should be pointed out for the citizens of Fate is this debt issue. We currently have $9.5 million of debt in the city of Fate. We're going to pass $5.96 million for the new CIP project, which is just a fancy word for about to build a bunch of stuff. Then we know for a fact that the Sabine Creek project, which is a sewer plant, we're going to have Royce City and Fate have a joint agreement with the sewer plant, and just the natural cause of growth is we're going to have to up that plant, the capacity, the lines, and that's going to be about $7 million right now. So what is it really going to be? So you're looking at $9.5 million, you're looking at another $5 million and another $7 million. All added together, that's about $20 or so million in debt, 25, almost touching $25 million in debt by the time that's all said and done. And that's a big problem, because the City of Fate's current budget is $3.5 million. So you're taking a $3.5 million budget, you're passing $5.5 million of debt, and here's the funny thing, they never asked the citizens. So there's no citizen input, there's no citizen vote. So all this debt and all this trickle down, someone has to pay for it. And the people that are going to pay for it are the rooftops, the householders, the homeowners are going to have to pay for all of this debt, because we don't have enough business and commerce coming into this city in the near future. So basically, the city council is looking at doubling and tripling the debt over the next 5 years, while never asking the citizens if they're doing a good job. And I think that's why the citizens of Fate need to show up and vote the incumbents out. Right across the street is our Public Works Department. That building was bought by the FDC to put City Hall, but they never asked anybody if they could build on that ground. And so now they're talking about building City Hall down the street by the Interstate 30. And it just kind of worries me that we're spending all this money, and it doesn't seem like there's a cohesive vision or a cohesive plan for all this debt that the citizens of Fate will be saddled with for the next 30 years. The one thing that should alarm most of the citizens in Fate is the recent appointment of the new council member, Christy Schnell. The issue with that is that she's a formal employee with a separation agreement. So at the very least, we can all agree that the separation was not mutual and that something occurred in the separation. The city just doesn't offer the severance packages or offer any sort of contract with former employees unless there was an issue. We know that there's a no hire, and we know that the people that terminated Christy still work at the city. So now you're in a situation where the council and Mayor Broderick have appointed a council member into a leadership position in the city that separated terms with her and is not allowed to hire her back. So I think that everyone should kind of take a pause and go, was that really the best direction? And now we need to counter that with saying that there were more applicants for that position. It wasn't like she was the only person applying. And one of those applicants was a very qualified, credentialed attorney that's been working in municipal law for most of his professional career. So it's just kind of odd that they would pick a former employee over a qualified candidate and say, well, we're just going to put this former employee over. Now the people that work through her separation agreement, now she's the boss of those people. And I just think that's just not really good for business, and it should bring everyone's mind of saying, what is Mayor Broderick and his council doing at this current time? I want to reiterate what Lauren just commented on with Philip Rodriguez. The entire 3+ years that I served on council, the hardest vote I ever made was his separation agreement. It just hurts me to know that we let a good guy go because of an ego battle with the mayor. Some of the details we really can't get into, but what really happened at the core of it is that Philip tried to run the city as a city manager, and Mayor Broderick wanted to run the city as a mayor form of government. And I think our charter is very clear that the city manager is the person in charge of doing it, of running the city. It's also interesting that 2 months prior, City Council 7-0 vote, that's all of us, 7-0 vote, voted a vote of affirmation for our city manager, and within 2 months he was let go on a split vote. More people showed up in support of Mr. Rodriguez than voted in the last municipal election. And I think that it's proof positive that with 6 seats open, 6 seats contested, that the city of Fate has woken up. And I just pray every day that it's legitimate and the people go to the polls and we send them